Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Crystal. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. As you can tell by the title, this is going to be a story time about why college just didn't work out for me. I want to do this video because college is something that is a part of like the order of operations in life. It's like a societal norm and it's pushed on us either in our homes or through school. And sometimes college doesn't work out. You know, people have bumps in the road through college. People take breaks. It's normal. But they may beat themselves up because of it, because of that societal norm, because of that pressure. So taking it back to high school, throughout my entire high school career, I did everything in my power to ensure that I was going to college. I was dead set on, going to college. I got the grades, I was on the extracurriculars, everything I did was school related. If you would have told me my junior or my senior year, my sophomore year, if you would have looked me in the eye and you would have said, Sarah, you're not going to be in college a year from now, I would laugh in your face and I would be like, what the hell, you don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I am. Like, I did my FAFSA. I filled out my FAFSA by myself. It was a long-ass process. I qualified for a grant, so that's what paid for my school. I filled out my college applications. I got accepted to the ones that I wanted to. I did my SAT scores. I did great. And then I graduated high school. And after high school, that summer before I started college, my life took this horrible turn for the worse. My mom left my dad. They separated after I graduated school, maybe a couple weeks. And, she left. So I was here with my dad and I didn't really come into much contact with my mom because she was doing her own thing and she had her own reasons, and I don't blame her for any of that. I understand why she did the things that she did. It still obviously had this huge impact on my life. Like, I can't even explain in words how much it affected me. On top of my mom basically being out of my life during that time period, I broke up with my ex of 5 years at that point. And so I didn't have anyone. I was with my ex since I was 12 years old. And, obviously my mom was always my best friend. So two giant influencers on my life were no longer there. And my life was just turned upside down. I didn't recognize anything. I didn't even recognize myself. By all that, I kept pushing through that summer. I, focused on myself. I hung out with my friends a lot. I, dated other people. And I just kept thinking school's coming, college is coming. I did everything that summer. I got my car that summer. I got my license that summer, and I got registered for college. I got my sticker. I did all that, all that normal stuff. I went to the meetings. I went to get my classes registered. I got my ID. I got all that exciting stuff, and I remember being so excited that day that I got everything set. I ended up going to Navarro College in Corsicana. I chose Corsicana even though there's a Waxahachie campus that's much closer. I chose that campus because it's just a lot bigger and it had a more university type feel, and that's what I really wanted. I did have to commute 40 to 45 minutes Monday through Friday because I even had a class on Friday. I was involved in something called the American Honors Program at Navarro, and basically what that is you take honors classes, and it kind of helps you go on the right path to a 4-year university after you graduate with your associates. So I took that. I qualified for that. My FAFSA paid for that. I had 2 classes that were honors. They were psychology and English. I did okay in my classes. I did okay. It wasn't as good as I could have done. I definitely procrastinated way too much in school. Like I said, I was dealing with so much, and I didn't recognize anything in my life in that summer before college, and definitely when I started college, it definitely just got worse because at least in the summer, I was hanging out with friends. I was hanging out with people who I loved and who loved me and stuff like that. When school started, I recognized nobody on campus. Some people that I went to school with did go to that campus, but it's not like we were super close or anything. Just dealing with all that, I definitely let it affect my focus. The algebra professor, I just did not understand like a word he would say. He was very hard to understand. He went really, really fast. That's you definitely have those classes where you kind of have to teach yourself type thing. That was one of those classes, and I would tell myself, okay, I'm going to go back in the book. I'm going to, you know, look up how to do this and that, and I would never do that, resulting in me like making like C's on all my tests, hardly even being there in class. He was a professor that didn't care if you were there or not. He really didn't even take a roll. So always halfway throughout the class, I would just dip because I was like, what am I doing sitting here if I can't even understand what the guy's saying? So I remember being so depressed during college. Like, I showed up in house shoes 4 out of 5 days a week. It's like I didn't have the want to honestly be there. Like, I just didn't. And I felt like, fuck, I'm getting up so early. I'm dealing with all this extra bullshit in my life. I got a letter in the mail saying that I owed $800 for the college. And I was like, what the fuck? So I called, and they told me that I owed $800 because I took those 2 honors classes, which were $400 apiece, and my FAFSA didn't cover it. And I said, what are you talking about? Because I got a refund of $800, and that refund is basically like your money after all your classes and books are paid for and stuff, right? So I'm like, why did I get that refund if I still hadn't paid my classes? And basically, the financial aid office made a mistake and didn't charge me for those classes, and instead gave me that money to spend, and didn't notify me until a week or 2 weeks before I'm supposed to register for classes. I couldn't register for classes until I paid that $800. So, and my next semester's FAFSA wouldn't cover it. I had to pay it before I got that FAFSA. So I was so pissed. On top of that, I felt like the honors classes that I was taking weren't even challenging. Like, my psych class was so freaking easy. It didn't challenge me one bit. My English class, I did harder essays in Mr. Powell's junior year. So I was like, why am I going to spend like $400 when I didn't even learn anything from these honors classes? Like, I was just so mad. I was so negative. I was like, I've been wasting all this gas. I've been going up there, busting my ass when I don't fucking want to. And then you're going to pull this shit on me? Like, are you serious? I was so physically, mentally just drained at this point. Like, I was just tired. I was tired of feeling like one bad thing happens, okay, I'm gonna build a wall. Then another bad things happen. Okay, keep going. And then it was like bad thing after bad thing, and I was doing too much of like shrugging it off and not taking the time that I needed to actually heal from those bad things that were happening to me. So each more negative thing that happened, I became more negative, and I became more upset, and I was more and more on the verge of just giving up each time something like bad happened. Me and my ex ended up getting back together at some point while I was going to school, and my car needed a new motor, and it took about 2 weeks to get that done. And while that happened, I was like kind of living with my ex at the time, and I was having to wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning because we were using the same car. I would have to take him to work all the way in Waxahachie, then drive back to Rice, then drive back to Corsicana, go to classes, get out of class, go pick him up from work. Like, it was so hectic. Like, there was just so many things going on. And like I said, they were just beating me down, and I was just fighting. I was fighting to keep going. I was fighting to keep trying, but it just wasn't happening. Like, I wasn't getting any results. I wasn't getting When you graduate high school and when you start going to school or you start working, life just has a way of slapping you in the face, and you realize at several points in your life, whatever they may be, because everyone's situation is different, but you realize it's all you. You are grown. And now it's time to face all of the grown-up issues that come along with being an adult. Like getting your car fixed, like dealing with school, like dealing with the everyday bullshit-ass problems that come with being on your own. And it's fucking hard. Like, it is so hard. And I push and I push and I push. But that $800 was the final straw of me saying, fuck y'all. Like, I was so done. I fucking ripped that shit up. I didn't even go back to take my final exams. And that's where I beat myself up the most about, because if I would have taken my final exams and passed them, I would have got those credits, but I didn't. But I was, like I said, I was just fed up. I regret not focusing enough as I should. I regret all the procrastination. If I could, I would do it over again. I regret that fuck it attitude that I had. I had that, and I had that because I felt like because of all the stuff I was going through in my life, I was entitled to not care. I was entitled to just say fuck it. I had reasons why I was procrastinating and throwing that education away. But in reality, it's not an excuse, and it wasn't an excuse. Just because I was going through all of that stuff, like, I didn't have the fucking right to just blow off college. I didn't have that right. But at the time, and I was still not grown. And I'm still not fully grown, but I was a lot more naive than I am now. I thought that I did. I thought that I could. Like I said, I regret that. And I miss school. I miss learning. I've always said that the day you stop learning is the day you die. Every day you should be growing. Every day you should be learning and experiencing new things and just becoming a better you. I've always believed and said that, but I definitely feel that without school, it's like a standstill. Your brain isn't like taking in all this new information and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I miss school. I do plan on going back for sure. There's not a doubt in my mind. I just have to save up that 800 and get my ass back, you know, on track. And it's been a year, but better late than never. And to anyone who hasn't graduated yet and who hasn't gone into college yet, I want to say, like, real quick, don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. When you graduate high school, it's easy to feel like you're free. It's easy to feel like you're done. But if college is your next step, don't lose your focus. Don't be out partying, doing stupid shit that's not going to get you nowhere in life, that's going to get you in trouble. And be careful with who you hang out with. Be careful with who you surround yourself with. Even if you surround yourself with people who are doing bad things and you just say to yourself, oh, that's them, that's not me. You are who you associate yourself with. You become who is around you. Like, we're humans. We naturally soak up the energy that's around us. Just keep your head high. Focus on what you want, not what anybody else around you wants. Your major, all that stuff. Do what you want. Do what's going to make you happy. And stay focused. And don't procrastinate, because that's the #1 killer for college students. Is procrastination. And it's all by yourself. You have control over all of it. College hasn't already worked out for you. You can go back. I know you probably already know that. But if you want to, don't think that that's just like the end of it. And that, you know, there's no way. There's always a way. There's a will. There's a way. So with that, come here, mama. Come here. Let me give you a hug. I'm going to make it a habit of saying bye with my baby Rosie, just because she's always in here with me when I film. And I feel like when I film, I'm neglecting her over there. So, can I say bye? Bye. Alright, guys. I will see you on my next video.